us here. My name is Jennifer Ricupero. I'm your fitness and recreation manager here at Green Mountain at Fox Run in Ludlow, Vermont. Today we're going to be learning some of our Green Mountain stretches. We do these before and after each of our classes, really finding that the results are that women are less achy the next day and finding that their bodies move better, because in reality the first thing we should always work on when we get back into a strength or fitness routine is flexibility. A lot of people shoot right into that cardio but don't realize that when their muscles are tight, that's normally when we hurt ourselves. So when we get that flexibility first, we make life a lot easier. So let's go ahead, let's take a nice strong deep breath in and breathing out. Let's do one more, just relaxing that body, taking the time for ourselves, breathing out. All right, we're gonna go ahead, keep those knees nice and light as we go throughout our stretches here. Go ahead, pulling those arms back. We're stretching out that chest. Keep those shoulders down and allow yourself to just reach on out nice and relaxed. Now we're going to turn those thumbs down, stretching into our biceps. Really pushing on back if we're not feeling it. And we're going to go ahead, grip those hands behind our back, pulling those shoulders back to stretch the front of the shoulder. Now if you find this to be hard to do or not able to clasp those hands, remember that you can just push those fists back and get the same stretch with our neck nice and relaxed. We're going into that upper back stretch, remembering to breathe and relax. This is meant to be enjoyable, I promise. And rolling on down. Now I'm going to bring that arm across the body, grabbing above or below that elbow, never directly on it, keeping our shoulder down so we're not getting into that choke method. Thumb comes down because sometimes the ladies get in the way, so this will help increase that stretch for the back of your shoulder. Do you feel it? You do? Nice, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Always remembering to get both sides, not just one, and taking time to do this is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Now we're going to hinge that arm right on back to stretch the tricep running right through here. Keeping the body up nice and tall, the chin tall, keeping that spine long and strong, stretching back. And if there is a modification, so if that shoulder hurts, whether you have shoulder impingement or any rotator cuff injuries, you can go ahead, tap that top shoulder and bring the arm just so that it's as if you're trying to touch the back, keeping your shoulder low and controlled. Good. Go ahead, switching sides, trying to hold each stretch for approximately 8 to 10 seconds. Of course, you can always hold longer to deepen the stretch, but we aim for 8 to 10 so that your stretching before and after is a little bit more realistic and doable. Now we're going to go all the way up tall, stretching out our abdominal region, running right through the center here. Let's bring it to the side for the obliques that run along the edges. Remembering not to collapse the rib cage. We want to raise up nice and tall, keeping that head light. Let's bring it over to the other side. This is a nice one to do. This is normally what I call my good morning stretch. If you do it right out of bed, it feels excellent. Start your day off right. Clasp those fingers together and roll it on down, getting that upper back one more time. Now we're going to move into that lower body. So we're going to first start off by getting as wide as we can, comfortably, wide out here with our toes pointing forward. Now we're going to stretch those inner thighs. What we're going to do is put those hands on the hip. I'm just going to hip hinge. So did you see it? Not too big of a movement. Make sure that you're not getting down onto the knee, especially if you have knee problems or if you have arthritis or osteoporosis starting. Just get a hip hinge. You should feel it in that inner thigh and that straight leg. Relax right into it. And let's go over to the other side. Another good safety cue is that if you find your knee going over your foot, you need to step out more because you actually have more flexibility than what you thought. So get on out there. Good. Let's go ahead and step it on in. We're now going to stand about hip distance apart, and we're going to sit right down with our hands on our thighs. We like to call this one at Green Mountain the public restroom hover. Now you start coming forward, you're just going to pee on yourself, and you're going to hurt those knees as well, so you might as well sit it right on back. This is a good stretch for our hamstrings. Relax the body, and we're going to come on up, all the way down, extending the head, letting it fall, stretching our lower back, our glutes, the back of our legs, also making sure our toes are nice and light. Our goal is to try to touch that ground, but the ground about a foot ahead of us. Make sure you're breathing. Really enjoying the lower back release here. And we're going to safely roll it up by bending those knees, hands to the thighs, rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, never popping up like a jack in the box. Rolling those shoulders at the top of the motion. And rolling them forward. Now don't keep it in small or else that's where your range of motion will go and you'll go to reach for something. You'll be just like those big bodybuilders. They won't be able to lift up, so allow yourself to really move through it. Now we're going to get to the rest of those legs. We're going to bring our left foot forward and our right foot back. We want to align about hip distance apart. So don't get into the tightrope walk where one's foot in front of the other. Got to get out wide. This is going to be for the calf, right in the back here. Making sure we're getting out long enough so that the heel is almost lifting up, but we're still able to put it down. Keeping that body tall and relaxed, hands on the hip to help with balance. And we're going to lift up off that back heel, dip down and tilt out. This is going to be for our quad hip flexor. I also like to call it the va-va-voom. So if you really want to kick it out there, to make sure we get into those body parts. And let's put that heel down, stepping on in. We're going to sit straight down, getting the Achilles tendon, which runs right in the back here. If you're an incline or decline walker, you find yourself hiking or snowshoeing a lot, this is an excellent stretch to be getting. Tweaking this distance between your feet to get the stretch because everybody's going to be different. Are you ready to go on the other side? Me too. All right, here we go. Let's go on that other side. Stretching out nice and long for the other calf. And let's lift up, dip down, tilt out for what? The quad hip flexor. That's right, quad hip flexor. Kicking it right on out there, making sure we're feeling this. Enjoying a light pelvic tilt. Heel down, stepping in, sitting down for the Achilles tendon. Do you know where it is? Do you remember? Right in the back here. Excellent job, ladies. Learning our muscles is a great start to fitness. And let's come back up. We're now going to move into those hips. How many of us experience hip pain? No one? Ah, come on, don't lie to me. I know you do. When you get up early in the morning, the bones are creaking and things are moving on out, we're set in a V, ladies, so we're going to have hip pressure naturally. So I like to teach this one. It's a hip joint stretch. So your feet are about hip distance apart, pointing forward initially. You're going to turn them 45 degrees to the left or right. You're going to bend both knees and kick that tush out. Now this is the attitude. So if you're from New York like I am, I tell you, you go right into it. But otherwise, I promise you'll get it. Just make sure you bend both knees and really push on out. You should feel right into that hip joint. It's a gift from me to you. Let's go over the other way. Bending those knees, pushing it on out. Doesn't that feel good? I know, it's a good one. Are we ready to get to our last body part? Me too, all right. And that is the neck. Always save the neck for last because a lot of times as you're doing stretches, you'll tense up as you concentrate. So allow yourself to relax. Everything's been stretched already. Allow it to come over to the side, keeping those shoulders low. And rolling down in front to the side, never rolling our head backwards. We found that studies show that it compresses the vertebrae. Let's roll back to the beginning side. And all the way up in center, glancing upward but not cocking the head backwards. We just want to open from the jaw, almost like a Pilates lengthening move. And let's come out and down, working on elongation of that spine. And last but not least is our range of motion. We're going to look over one shoulder, making sure not to turn the torso as we do this. This is also great for that blind spot when you're when you're driving that car. Sneak over the other way so you don't have to tweak into that lower back anymore. And last but not least, take your nice strong deep breath in. Enjoying that you've just given yourself a few moments of love and care. And thanks so much for coming by. I'll see you soon.